Jennie, your defense tonight, talk about what happened defensively to your squad tonight. They shot 50% from the floor and they made 14 threes against you guys.
Right. Well, Georgia Amore happened. I think she just single-handedly picked us apart, and then they spaced us out, and I don't think we responded. I think, you know, and they're a challenge. They're different than a lot of people, and she's different, and she's bouncy, and I feel like in the first quarter, you know, you gotta get used to it a little bit, especially when they start that hot. You gotta get used to it, and you gotta adjust, and I don't think we did. I think I thought we did in the third quarter. I was like, okay, here we go, we're starting. I thought the second quarter, I thought we did a much better job of changing some things up. I thought Zaya Van, I thought she was pretty much our best option, and I thought she did the best job to be able to at least disrupt some things. But we weren't ready. And I don't know if that was residue and we weren't able to prepare. I don't know if that was just a bad plan. I don't know if it was just the game, but we were not ready.
Coach, will you speak a little bit more to what sets Georgia Amore apart and what makes her difficult to contain?
43 points and 8 assists. I mean, and she averages 8 assists. So this isn't like, oh, this is just a really special night for her. I know she shot the ball well. But she's been there, she's done that. She's got great experience, and she elevates the level of the play of the people around her. And I think that's the highest compliment you can give anybody, when you can make everybody else around you better. That's what she does. And so she makes you get into a rotation, and the second you mess up, she finds the open person.
Jennie, you guys were able to weather the storm and cut it to 1. That's when they had their huge run. What was the difference? Was it something they did differently in that second stint that extended back out? They weren't able to get all the way
You know,
back
I gotta go
into
back
it?
and watch film, but we just started turning over, and we didn't do what we did to get there. And we stopped with our pace and our player movement, and we started to drive a little bit more, or we started to wait for things to clear, and then we passed, and then, you know, players that don't get steals because we're throwing it to them. And that's not disrespect to them, that's more, we have to be better and sharper. I thought our decision-making during that time was not great. But we have to, at the end of the day, learn who we are a little bit more and stay in that space. So if you're gonna go down, you better go down doing what you do. And when we start kind of makeshifting, or we start trying to see passes that aren't there, that can't be us. We've got to go with what works. And we gotta finish a little bit better. You know, it's hard to say, okay, you get 18 offensive rebounds with no points for it. You know, it's hard to be able to take that many threes, and they gotta go in at some point. And so, I think that's where we're at a little bit.
Jennie, what did you think of the shot selection, especially early? Obviously, the 3-point just stats stand out, but Kenny talked about the way he defended y'all, sort of giving up things at the top of the key to focus inside.
Right. Well, that's what everyone's gonna do if we can't get a little bit more consistent there, or at least I thought not having Liz hurt us a little bit, because she can really attack that high post area. That hurt us, and that's something I think she's really brought, and I think you saw Sahara have some success there, but we needed more physicality on the low block too, because you can't always get it just from a top in that space and then in, and they have length. You know, they have a lot of length that they can do some things that other people maybe can't do because of that. So our ball movement needed to be better, and where we got the ball in the paint needed to be better. I thought we were really slow in our decision making. I mean, we got 3-second calls because our passing was behind. We gotta move the ball. And honestly, lately I feel like we've been doing a better job of that. Today we just did not.
Is she out long, or?
She's out because of the last game.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about that.
So that hurts us.
My fault.
That hurt us a lot. And so she'll be back.
I forgot about that.
Sahara, Jennie talks about how you guys are maybe still trying to learn each other. What's maybe been the difficulty of learning this group so far this year?
I would say just, I don't know. I think just understanding how good we are and how good everyone is, and being able to have so much depth and how to use our depth and when to use it. And I think that's something at least I feel like I've struggled with. I don't even think that's a struggle. I just think we just got to get used to being so good and understanding how to play with each other and play to our strengths and minimizing our weaknesses.
Sahara,
you had 27 points, a career high. What was that feeling when you realized that you had it, if you even did realize the career high?
I did not, but since we lost, to me, it's not that. It doesn't really matter, to be honest.
I think Sahara continues to set a tone for us, which is, you can see her fire, you can see her leadership, and unfortunately, we didn't have enough that really stepped into that space today. When she did the same thing in the last game when we were down and we come back, you can see her calling things and pushing players. She has incredible leadership skills, and I love to be able to watch her progress throughout this year. I mean, you've seen, a lot of you have been here a couple years, and to be able to see how much she's grown from one year to the next is really exciting, because right now your back's against the wall, right? And we have to decide how we want to be able to really finish this season. And I think, and again, we played great teams. Like, it's not like we're just losing all the time. This is a great league, and that's no disrespect. That's a heck of a lot of respect. But we've had a lot of opportunities to finish some of those games. So now we get to decide how we want to finish our season, and I think we've got to be able to draw a line in the sand. But I think if we didn't have Sahara, I don't know if we would be able to keep going, but because we do, I know we're going to be able to keep going. I know she's going to she's a demanding presence as a sophomore, and somebody that is still trying to become a better basketball player. And you can see her fight, you can see her natural tenacity, and yet she has this really amazing way to be able to call people up. So I know we're going to be okay because we have her on our team.
Sahara, last Sunday we were in here talking about the coaching staff pushing you to continue to bring that energy. That's been there. Have you felt that the stuff on the floor is slowing down for you, though, as far as especially these last 3 games for you?
Like your mind slow down.
Yeah, I do. But I think that comes from watching film. Like, I feel like, especially within these last few weeks, as a team, we watched a lot of film, and Jennie's like, this is what you need to do, this is what you didn't see, this is what you are seeing, and just making sure that we're on the same page and just understanding the offense and where shots will come from, how can I get my teammates involved, and what reads to make. So I think watching more film definitely has helped me.
She's also not afraid to make mistakes, and I think for young people today, that's a true testament to really high character, and also that's how you get better. You gotta fail, you gotta fall down, you gotta get up, you gotta face adversity. She's can be sick, she can be 3 turnovers in a row, and she's just gonna continue to give you what she's got. She's never gonna just all of a sudden shut down and take. She just won't do that, and that's. But again, I think a lot of times, like, we don't want people to face adversity, and we're facing adversity right now. So we gotta make a decision. We can either feel sorry for ourselves and say, oh, we didn't get this, or we didn't get that, or this isn't fair, or that's not fair. But that's not going to be the DNA of our program.
Coach, 3 Kentucky players fouled out today. Kenny Brooks said that was a testament to Reagan Beers and how difficult she is to guard. What's your read on that?
Oh, that's a hard one to answer. Obviously, we like Reagan, and some of them are tough. Trying to say this, it's hard to have a flow, and obviously, we want to be able to get some production in the paint. I'd actually continue to like to see her game continue to progress. I'd like to see her get more free throws even. So I know people fouled out, but she had 5 free throws. So those are some things I'd like to be able to see as well. And so we need to be able to get her the ball a little bit faster. I think if we can do that, I think the sky's the limit for her. And I think she continues to prove some things. And at some point she'll get some pretty darn good respect. And so it's nice of Kenny to say that. She needs it from a lot of areas.
Coach, what went into the decision to put in Kaya Smith in a game like this? In that moment for her, what went into that decision for you?
Effort. Just effort. And I didn't like our response today. We knew Kentucky was good. We knew they were good. We knew, you're talking about a team that, an elite point guard in our game that's going to continue to play well. She's world class. She's really, really good. That's why I was really impressed that Zaya wasn't afraid of that, she just worked and she got her a lot, she kept going. And I think some of the rest of us were a little bit rocked with it, and we didn't just keep going. And so that was our decision at that point, to say, okay, we can't compromise effort. And I think she's been doing a great job in practice, and it's not always what everybody else gets to see. So we wanted to put her in and get her some time today. We almost actually put her in the last game, as well. And so, especially when we were down, we were coming back and we were trying to figure things out, and we just turned some things, and it was too hard to take some of our guards off the floor in the last game. And so, today we were able to do that.
Jenny, sometimes I ask questions just because I'm trying to learn more about the game. Coach Brooks said that they defensed you guys a certain way today and gave you something, you know, and they were fortunate that you couldn't take advantage of it. With the shooting that you said at the top of the game, which you said earlier in the interview there, most of the time, don't you feel, or do you feel, you guys can take advantage of that? You feel like you're a good shooting team and you can take advantage of it?
You know, I always feel that way. I always feel like, you've heard me say this so many times, and but it doesn't matter if, I mean, they have the green light to shoot that, and I want them to, and I really do, and I just want us to be able to have that edge to be able to do that.
You feel like you have the capability to take
Of course I
advantage
do. I mean, how many of you seen Skylar hit
That's what I
over the?
mean.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, and you want that, and but when you're not, I mean, Reagan, you know, I thought her threes today, I thought they looked good too. I thought that was the right shot selection. I don't think we were just jacking things up there. I didn't like necessarily. We needed better ball movement to get to some of it, and I think that's when you're in flow a little bit better. So there's some of that, but of course I want us to be able to shoot the ball, and we have to do whatever it takes for us to get really confident in shooting that, whether that's get in the gym more, whether that's visualization, I don't know, but we've got to be able to take some ownership on that.
When you talk about the confidence piece for this group, every one of these games except for Mississippi State's been a top 15 matchup that you've traded. I know it's not the result you guys want. Has it been hard to keep that perspective, to keep the confidence up, knowing that it's not a bunch of you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's, you know, and I don't know if it's that we're not confident. I think, I mean, we just played at LSU 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then you try to prepare for Kentucky. And they're different, and yet they're elite. And so, you know, and then you're trying to bounce back from playing in South Carolina the week before. So you're right, you're playing these elite top teams in this league, and you're seeing people really, really good. That's what's part of this conference. That's part of it. That's part of being a competitor. And so to me, I feel like we have to be able to hit that reset button a little bit faster, and to be able to get ready for that next game. But we haven't been in the SEC yet. We haven't seen that yet. And that's not a disrespect at all to the Big 12. I think the Big 12 is really good, and I think you face a lot of similar things. But it is different when you're the new one, you know, when you're the new team. And you can see that. It's different. And so we have to be able to just be able to reset and then step in. So I don't think we necessarily lack confidence, but at the same time, you still have to have effort, regardless of whether you feel good about it or not. And so I think that's really what was the disappointing piece for me today. I don't know if that's how you feel too.
No, I don't think we lack confidence, and I think you give us all the confidence in the world, so I don't think that's a part of it.
Anything else, guys?
Just curious, I mean, you made the switch with putting Raina in the starting lineup. Do you see any other possible lineup changes to maybe get out of a little bit of the funk? I mean, like you said, you're playing really good teams, so it's, I don't know, just curious if that's...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's something, you know, I like stability. I like, you know, I like consistency. And at the end of the day, we have to do what's best for our team. So that's not necessarily a decision I'm gonna make after we just lost a tough game to a really good team. But it's, you know, I can't say no and I can't say yes. Now, I like what Raina's done. I don't feel like Raina was great necessarily today, but I like Raina's demeanor in practice. I like what she has been able to do. You know, you're putting her in end-of-game situations to try to learn. You're putting Zaya in end-of-game situations trying to learn. And so, you know, and I think Zaya, I mean, the last 2 games, I've been really impressed with her. And honestly, I don't even know, in the last game, she could have been in the game. She fell out. So, but she sparked, you know, she sparked a big return for us. So, you never know. You never know. But that's not, I'm assuming that was your question, was more about Raina, but it's, yeah, anybody could change at any point. And at the same time, I just want the five, you don't always have your 5 best players on the floor to start either, and that's something that, we just gotta start better, and we gotta get a little bit more hungry.
I kind of was more asking about with Skylar. I know she played better today, and she
Yeah.
had the 6th player of the year.
I know,
award.
you know, we've actually talked about that a lot, and actually a year ago, we tried that in a game, to get her more comfortable, to be able to come in, and she, we tried it in one game, and it went well for her, but not for the team, and so we made that decision together. So it's not out of the realm of possibility either to get her kinda going again too.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.